We've got 5:30. We've got two people responding remotely. I'll give them a second to make sure that they're on. Hopefully they can hear us. Uh, Almost happy Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for being here and gals for being here on this wonderful week. Got a little rain, a little bit chilly in the morning, so it's nice. Now that we've got everybody on board. So Council Member Stephanie O'Banion will be participating remotely with us via video conference from Cross Plains, Texas, and Council Member Dave Covington is participating us live from London, England. So it's a little later in London, so a lot of dedication there. Just doing a mic check, assuming you guys, I'll start with Stephanie. You can hear us. Let's see if we can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Can. Awesome.
All
Thank you
right, thanks.
for joining us. And Dave, your turn.
I'm here live from London. Stephanie, how's the food and the weather in Cross Plains?
I was a little offended that that was not asked that earlier, but my place is not nearly as exciting.
All right. So yeah, we had a little meeting earlier and they got to participate. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order for the November 25th council. I'm looking for my notes here. Here we go. At first, what we're going to do is I'm going to lead Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. flag. Cynthia Hernandez will lead the pledge to the Texas flag, and then Craig Pearson will lead our invocation. So rise with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the
republic for which it stands,
one nation
under God,
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Under
the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Join me in prayer. Father God, we come to you in Jesus' holy name. Father, at this time, we remember that we have so very much to be thankful for, starting with your Son and his provision for us. But Father, part of what we're thankful for is to be in and of this community. And Lord, it's our desire to represent it well, that your will be done in both process and product in our deliberations tonight. May it be so in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yeah. All right. We're now called to order November 25th, 5:30 something p.m. Item 1 or item 2 on the agenda is public comments. If anyone wishes to address the council on any non-agenda item that we actually have some level of input on, you may do so. I know that we've got, I think we have 2 that are signed up for public comments. The first one is Hector from McGregor. So Hector, if you don't mind giving us your full name and address, and you got 3 minutes.
Hi, good evening. My name is Hector Marinos. I'm with Texas A&M Forest Service out of the McGregor office, 6521 Bluebonnet Parkway, 76657, I believe the zip code is. Today we're talking about Tree City, USA, and I've got some flyers for y'all.
Thank you.
So as far as I'm aware, you guys have applied or are trying to work towards Tree City, USA. What Tree City USA is, for those of you who don't know, it is a recognition for a city that puts extra effort into the care, maintenance, and protection of their trees. Now, it is a recognition, which is pretty much all it is, not a whole lot of benefits, but I will say that there are very few benefits that will go a long way, such as grants. So when you apply for grants, and as you may know, grants at this time are very, very scarce. So if you are a Tree City USA, that shows that you're willing to put extra effort into your tree care and protection, maintenance, planning, all that. So when you apply for any kind of grant within Texas A&M Forest Service or with the Arbor Day Foundation, which is the owner of this Tree City USA program, they look upon you more favorably. So that puts you on par with cities like Temple, Waco, Fort Worth, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. So you may not have the numbers, but you have Tree City USA, which puts you above everybody else who isn't Tree City USA, puts you on the same footing as the others that are Tree City USA. And then it goes into a matrix, which takes you into even more account. For those of you who were affected last year with the windstorms that affected this area, we have within Texas A&M Forest Service and with the Arbor Day Foundation, what that does is that if you are a Tree City USA, it gives you even more favor when you apply for recovery grants or recovery plantings, So I was down in Kerrville, and Kerrville is working towards a Arbor Day, a Tree City USA status, which is going to help them get even more trees replanted post disaster, not just from Texas A&M Forest Service, but with the Arbor Day Foundation. There's 4 simple standards. It's a forestry department or tree board, which is pretty much any public works or parks and rec. Anybody who does any kind of tree work is your tree board. Public tree care ordinance, which is I'm assuming what you guys have been working towards. It pretty much just designates you, the city, as the caretakers of all public trees. Any kind of detailed work that is going to be done around or with trees also has to be included in that ordinance. Number 3 is a community forestry with an annual budget of at least $2 per capita. Note how it's $2 per capita, not per tree. City of Killeen has $2 per tree and does not qualify for Tree City USA because the money should not be going towards the trees. It's going towards the betterment of people, and trees are what do that for us. And I can go into a longer spiel, and I don't have enough time for that. Arbor Day observation and proclamation. This doesn't have to be a specific Texas Arbor Day or a U.S. Arbor Day. It could be any Arbor Day. I know the city of Gatesville celebrates theirs whenever they feel like it, and they still label it as an Arbor Day. So that gives them Tree City USA status. Believe it or not, Gatesville is a Tree City USA as of last year, and they were the first in this region to submit their application for this year. So I wholeheartedly believe that City of Belton, along with the City of Woodway, is one of the most beautiful cities in my region. And you are the only 2 that are not Tree City USA. And I'm here to urge you to really put effort into that because the deadline is on December the 31st, but that is for Texas A&M Forest Service to get those applications in. And if you guys, and I'm in very good contact with Joe Dreyer, James Grant, and Adam Trujillo. If there's effort shown and there's progress made towards this before that deadline, I can get that extended to February. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
We love our trees.
yeah, we do.
we do.
Thank you.
Yeah, some of the cities you named, all they have are hackberries. We got real trees here. I won't name which cities those were, but there are a few. All right, thank you. All right, the second that signed up, at least verbally to me, is Councilmember Dave Covington from London.
Yes, I had the privilege of meeting yesterday with Lord Michael Bates at Parliament, and he just wanted to extend his greetings and well wishes to Belton, Texas. He said that he follows along our council meetings online every other week, and he did ask if he could see his son Matt Bates because he can't see him on camera, and so I promised him that I would have Matt just poke his head around the table, wave to his dad in the camera. Oh, there we go. All right. So I can honestly say that I delivered to Lord Bates a view of his son at work. So, but anyway, Lord Bates sends his greetings and his well wishes to Belton.
A lot of glare when he posted his head around there.
It would be more effective if you get underneath the little camera and then just raise up in front of it, like right point blank. Yeah.
It'd be scary.
All right. Again, thanks for both Stephanie and for Dave for being here during this holiday week. Hopefully this does not ruin their holidays. So, all right. Any other public comments? All right. There being no more public comments, we will close that and we will go to the consent agenda. Items 3 through 7 on our consent agenda are items that can be enacted by a single motion. If the council if any member of the council wishes to remove any of those items, they may do so. I will read all of the items into the record, and then we can either act on that or we can remove any of the items. So item 3 is adopting the minutes of the previous meetings, November 10th council workshop and November 10th council meeting. Item 4 is authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 2 to the development agreement with Hunt Communities Belton LLC to allow for different lot sizes than previously approved. Item 5 is authorizing the sole source purchase of water meters from Core and Maine. Item 6 is authorizing the purchase of vehicles for Public Works Department and Parks Department as provided for in the Capital Equipment Replacement Fund. Item 7 is authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement for visitor center support with the Belton Area Chamber of Commerce for fiscal year 2026. Those are the items on the consent agenda.
I move we approve items 3 through 7 as presented.
Second?
We have a motion and a second to present to adopt items 3 through 7. Any comments before we vote? All in favor, say aye.
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 Right. So all opposed? Passes unanimously. Item 8 is consider authorizing the city manager to execute an interlocal easement agreement between Brazos River Authority and the city of Belton regarding the Bell House Pipeline project. Mr. Lissy, thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Mayor Lee and council members, the Brazos River Authority is moving forward with its plan to build the Bell House Water Pipeline Project. This agenda item will address a required waterline easement from the city of Belton. Just a little background on the project and the originators of the project. BRA, as most of you know, is an independent Texas state agency responsible for managing regional water resources. Their plan is to build a water transmission pipeline to ensure drought resiliency in the Brazos River Basin. They do have eminent domain authority to secure project easements, and they have come to us with a proposal to seek an easement from the city and have proposed an interlocal agreement between BRA and the city for that waterline placement following about 3 years of negotiation. This is a little outline of the project corridor. The blue line that you can see beginning here at Lake Belton and extending down across Sparta, cross country, basically crossing I-14 and then going down to the lake. That is the pipeline corridor. It would connect the two lakes and provide for distribution of water in that pipeline to BRA customers. There will be an intake in Lake Belton and a pump station located on the core property inside Belton. Pipeline length is 6 miles. As you can see, again, that blue line is the 6-mile corridor. This shorter distance here is the area anticipated in the BRA easement. This is a 1 mile area, 5,500 feet essentially, that is the request for consideration today. BRA is requiring 2 separate easements, 50-foot permanent easement for a 48-inch water pipeline. Again, that's a 50-foot easement for a 4-foot water pipeline in that location. 20-foot temporary construction easement, which will go away after the project's completed. Again, the line is 5,500 feet in length, and it extends between the Corps of Engineers Lakeview Park property and Sparta Road. The pipeline location will be on city property, and that property varies in length. It's about 200 feet in width at the core property and extended south to just south of Waiteria. And south of that location, the city property measures 150 feet in width down to Sparta. Our objective in this whole discussion with the BRA has been extensive, and our objective has been to certainly secure favorable terms for the city, protecting our interests in exchange for grant of the easement to them. The terms of the agreement that are contained within the ILA are as indicated on the screen. BRA will compensate the city $2.4 million for the permanent and temporary construction easements, staging area, and for tree replacement. The city will then be responsible for tree mitigation after the project is complete. In addition, BRA is granting the city of Belton the first right of refusal for 1,000 acre feet of future water from the BRA. And just as a point of reference, we have just under 8,600 acre feet of water right now, and this would add a substantial amount, 12% to our water supply for future needs. So a pretty significant conveyance to us as well. Finally, the city will have site plan approval authority for the pump station, and we will also provide building inspection for code compliance for the facilities that they build on the Corps of Engineers Park property inside the city limits. The schedule, based on BRA's conversations recently, as they are just now beginning right-of-way acquisition, they would begin construction as early as 2029 and could complete that in 2032. Last Monday, on November 17th, the BRA board authorized the executive director to sign the ILA, and we are recommending approval of the interlocal agreement between the BRA and the city of Belton. And I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
This not being a public hearing, we're just going to authorize this. Any comments or questions from council? I'll start online. remotely. If Stephanie's at the top, I'll not putting you on the spot. Just if you wish to say something, you may do so.
I don't have any specific questions. I just know the timing of that's been spent on this, and I appreciate the work that's gone into it, and I'm glad to see we're at this point here and what's been presented to us.
Thanks,
I
Steph.
guess.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I'll just say I think the result could have been much worse than this, and so I think the final ILA is absolutely as beneficial as possible to the city of Belton, and so based on that, I'll support it.
All right, on to the floor. Anyone have any comments or questions?
Tremendous amount of work behind the scenes, several meetings, reviews, back and forth. I think the city has really worked hard to try to make sure that citizens were taken care of, not just from a financial standpoint, but somebody that has eminent domain over that area. We were really able to negotiate, and I feel like well, we checked just about every box we could for a pipeline that's going in that we didn't really have much say in.
Thank you.
I absolutely agree with you, John, and want to thank Sam and John and all who and Matt, all who have participated in that. I think it's as good as it gets, given that we didn't want it in the first place, but that they've got eminent domain. And so thank you for the hard work that got it, and really appreciate it.
I'll second that. And, they say whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting. And the fact we were able to get another 1,000 acre feet of water in these negotiations is something that's going to be felt for many years. That adds another 20 years to our water reserve. So I just think that's an amazing thing, and thanks to the city staff for everything y'all were able to do to help acquire that and get a great deal for Belton City.
Mayor, one last comment. I think it's really neat that the Texas A&M Forestry Service was here this evening, because the amount of work that went into trying to save trees, going out there marking those heritage trees, asking them to move the water line a few feet was just tremendous. And so staff really worked hard to try to mitigate tree removal, but also make sure that the city was covered. And there's just a lot of added benefits in there where somebody could have just done a pipeline.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Chair would entertain a motion.
Move we authorize agenda item number 8.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to authorize the city manager to execute the interlocal easement agreement with Brazos River Authority. I will just say for the record, so if anyone from the press chooses to either watch this or read this, a little bit of background. The Brazos River Authority is a political subdivision that is not beholden to the taxpayers or the voters in our region. They are an independent organization that has authority, as mentioned before, to do what they're supposed to do. They've got lakes that we call conservation lakes. Belton Lake is conservation. That means the primary purpose is not for recreation, it's for water, and it's for the region. And it's for the whole Brazos region, which is from Georgetown up north of Waco. And so this whole region is dependent on the Brazos River Authority from the Panhandle all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And so they've got very broad authority. And so as we've started to see water needs south of us, they've already connected Stillhouse Hollow to Lake Georgetown because Lake Georgetown runs dry and they need water in Georgetown. Now their plan is to connect Belton to Stillhouse, and their long-term plan is to make sure that there's interconnectivity to all the lakes. So if there's different rain events in different areas, they can move water among their system to make sure that all of their customers get water. So that's the background. So when they did that and they decided to do that, they're going to do that. And so they looked at 5 or 6 different ways that they could go in. Some were very disruptive. Some would go through neighborhoods, across businesses, down roads. As you can imagine, trying to use a road as a possible pipeline, all the disruption. As luck would have it, the city of Belton had been planning for some decades on lake to lake interconnectivity. And so we had secured right of way. So they saw that as an opportunity. And so they came and they approached us and they said they chose this independent of us. They chose that area. And so they then started negotiating with us on this right of way. Obviously, trees are very important to us. The neighborhood is very important to us. And so the city went to bat for its citizens and worked very hard to make sure that the citizens who helped pay to get that land, and the reason there's a green belt / right of way for a road is because the city planned to do that. And so we wanted to make sure the citizens were compensated for that work that's been done over decades, and also not to destroy the beauty of the trees that are there. The city's done a wonderful job. And so I just wanted to make sure that that's in the record. So if anybody looks, that gives a little bit of history. This is something that was not worked on by the city with BRA with a desire to do anything. It was BRA informing us of their decision, either work with us and let us acquire the land this way, or we can work through eminent domain and we will acquire it anyway. And so that's where we are. And while that's a legal threat that's there, they never had to use that because they are a good partner to us. That's where we get our water. And so there's other sayings about what you don't do in your water. And so we're not going to do that in our water system. And so anyway, good partners. I'm glad we got this, and especially 1,000 acre feet. So that was my comment. I just wanted to make sure people knew the history. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay.
All right. Those opposed? All right. Passes unanimously. All right. That's item 8. The next item 9, is executive session. And I will say we will not be taking action into this executive session. So if you don't have to stick around to see if anything happens at